देखते तो से काटते So shall we start, sir?
Yeah, madam, please.
A very good afternoon to all the members present here, respected director sir, HOD madam, all the faculty members, and most precious today's event, most precious resource person, Puri sir, Gerde sir, and Kotkar sir. Today we all are gathered here to learn something about research methodology by learning few topics under that comes under the research methodology. So before starting the event, this is our SAGE culture to get know our audience about the SAGE. So by this beautiful video, I am playing the introduction about the SAGE. Then to that, I would like to invite our respected director, sir, Dr. Vikas S. Page, sir, to welcome our guests.
A very good afternoon to all the eminent guests and participants. I'm very much sure that these sessions will be highly knowledgeable and beneficial to all of you. I once again welcome our esteemed guests. Thank you.
So today our guest will be Dr. Puri sir. Due to some reason, today Gerde sir will not going to deliver the lecture, and the Puri sir will going to deliver the lecture on how to write the research paper that include the survey paper and the result paper. So let me introduce Puri sir just for the 1 minute. Puri sir is working as an assistant professor in computer science and engineering department at SSBT College of Engineering and Technology, Jalgaon. And Puri sir is having a rich teaching experience of more than 17 years, and he has published more than 25 papers and also publish books in repute publications. So I would also invite my HOD madam, Dr. Kalpana Rai madam, to wish us can conclude this event successfully. Kalpana ma'am.
Thank you, Sneha ma'am. Good afternoon, all of you. On behalf of Department of Computer Science and Engineering, SIRTE, I would like to welcome you all, respected experts, for these are 3 days workshop on research methodology. I would like to welcome our respected director, sir, Vikas S. Page, and all the participants who joined this workshop. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining this. I don't take much time, and just we can start or we can ask the director, sir.
Director sir.
Yeah, please proceed, ma'am.
So I would like to invite and want to hand over the audience to Dr. Puri sir. Puri sir.
Madam, due to technical issue, he is not able to join.
Okay.
So we need to wait for some time. By that way, he can connect as early as possible.
Okay, sir, no issue, no issue. Sir.
Okay.
So please wait for some time. I'm in connect with him.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है ना हाँ सर अभी धनश्री ताड़ी के नाम से मैं लॉगिन हुआ लेकिन फिर भी यहाँ धनश्री मैडम की मशीन पे भी कैमरा शामिल नहीं हो रहा है
Sir, if you can able to share the screen, then we are well with that also. Puri sir.
हाँ हो जाएगा आड हो जाएगा सर.
You may continue with the sharing of the screen.
Okay. हाँ ठीक है धनश्री ताड़ी के नाम से ज्वाइन हुआ मैं.
I am making you the co-host, so I think now you can share the screen, sir.
हाँ मैम धनश्री.
Yes sir, you can share. Puri sir.
हाँ मैम वेट.
पुरी सर आ रहे हैं मैडम, है ना. ये सर ने बोला है कि धनश्री तायडे के नाम से लॉगिन हुए हैं सर.
जी सर.
Hello, Puri sir, am I audible to you? Puri sir? Hello? Sneha ma'am, am I audible?
Yes sir, you are.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
I think he is having problem with his video, but his audio is okay, and you can share his screen as well. So you can, hello, Puri sir.
I think Puri sir is there. Puri sir, are you there now?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm making you the co-host. Now you can share your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Just wait 1 minute only now.
Okay. My dear student, today's topic is very important because when you want to complete your MTech, you need to publish 2 research paper. One paper include review paper and another include result paper. So you need to submit 2 paper mandatory. So it's my request that everybody should learn this workshop and publish review paper and research paper very well. So many things are there whenever you are creating any research paper. So Puri sir will tell you the minute details about the publishing of the paper. So now you can share the screen, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Can you see this, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. First of all, extremely sorry, ma'am, for technical error.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, sir.
ठीक है. Extremely sorry for technical error. I think there is a 10-minute delay for me due to my technical error here. Now the topic for this is how to write a technical paper. As we know that when we are doing a research, and if we want to publish that research in front of the technical world here, now this is the best medium, or this is the best way to tell the another people or the world that what you have achieved, what you have done here. But while writing a technical paper, some key points we have to consider here. So this session is nothing but regarding that how to write a technical paper here and in good forum. Now, basically, the general structure of the paper is the title, author, abstract, keywords, introduction, related work, methods, result and discussion, conclusion, reference, and tables and figures here. Generally, this is the structure of the paper here. But if we see the structure of this paper, now we will focus each and every point that how it should be incorporated so that our paper will be very good and it will be published in a good forum. Now, what generally, the basic question from the students or any research scholar, that what should be the length of the paper? It is commonly asked the question. But now see, we have to categorize the paper while considering the length or while deciding what should be the length of the paper here. Whether you want to send the paper for the conference or whether you want to publish it in a journal, because both are having their own aspects, both are having their own importance, and both are having their own objectives here. Now we will say that you will ask that what is objective, or what is when we have to publish the paper in the journal and when we have to present the paper in the conference here. Because when we are choosing the conference, what is in our mind is that whatever the idea you have stated, or whatever the algorithm you have stated, or whatever the technique you have stated, methods, whatever it may be here, whether it is correct, whether we are on the correct path. So through the conference paper, we will get that idea here, because you present that paper into the conference here. There are technical persons, they will give the review comments to you, or technical comments to you here. So to check whether you are on the right path or not, we have to write the conference paper here. But once path is fixed, then one path is fixed, and suppose now it is clear that you are on the correct path here, and you have done the technical work, you got that results, then you can write a journal paper, and you can publish that journal paper throughout the technical world here. Means these are the two things: conference paper and journal paper. Conference paper is for finding the correct way. You are asking to the world whether I am on the correct path. But keep in mind, do not be confused. Don't be confused in the conference paper and journal paper. So that's why the length of the conference paper should be the 6 to 15 pages. But as well as when we consider the journal paper, the length of the paper will be the 20 and 25 pages here. And generally, suppose you are doing the research. I think research scholars are there. I think MTech students are there.
Yes,
No.
sir. All the student belongs to MTech.
Generally,
members are also there, sir.
Generally, the student asks the question that whether first I have to start with the 1 minute, ma'am. Whether I should publish the paper or whether I should present the paper. 1 minute. Can you see the screen, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, sir.
Okay. Generally, another student used to ask the questions that whether first I have to go for the conference paper or whether directly go for the journal paper. But suggestion is that first you have to go for the conference paper. You have to present the paper into the conference here, and then you have to go for the journal paper. This is the sequence. First is the conference, and after that journal. Now the length of the paper, suppose. ठीक है, generally होता क्या है कि suppose we are having the title, author, abstract. Abstract should be one paragraph. There should not be the more than one paragraph in the abstract. It is a general assumptions. What happens? We are writing 2 or 3 paragraphs into the abstract, but it will not work here, or it is not correct here. As well as when we see the paper's introduction, generally what we do, a lot of people, what will do, they will write an introduction for 3 or 4 pages, but it's not correct here. So for introduction, you have to take the 1 to 2 pages. For related work, you have to take 1 to 2 pages. Methods, 2 to 4 pages, and results, we have to write 4 to 6 pages on the result here. Now, and the references 20 to 50 papers here for the references here. But generally, what happens? There are many MBs. I think that crowd is for the MTech student here. Generally, you see the point number 8, result and discussion, and 4 to 6 pages. But if we see the papers, then there is not more than 1 paper for the result and discussion. One or 2 papers. Now exclude that figures and tables here. If we see the text and if we see the discussion, so we are having only 3 or 4 paragraphs here, but it should be in reverse way. What we generally do, we focus on the introduction, related work, and generally 5 and 6 point here. But what is the key point? What is heart of the paper here? Heart of the paper is the result and discussion. Now, what part of the paper are read and by whom? Now, see, if we see the number of persons reading the paper, suppose there are 100 people reading. Suppose you have published the paper here. Nobody is interested in reading the whole paper. Now, there are majority people will read the only title and list of authors. They are interested on some 80% people. They are interested in only title. Now, see how you can imagine how the title is important, because 90% people, they are reading the title.
Sir, your voice is not coming, I think. Puri sir, your voice is not coming. Bashir, his voice is coming. Sir is joining. Some issue is there. Sir is joining soon. It's my humble request that all the students kindly rename your profile with your proper name so that I can maintain the record. Guest, kindly rename yourself. 50A, kindly rename. Ria, kindly rename with MTech student if you are the MTech student. I think Puri sir is there now. Yes, sir, you may share now.
Okay. Akash. One minute. Zoom is not responding.
जैसा कि आप लोगों को अभी पुरी सर ने बताया कि पेपर में जो टाइटल है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है। सो जब भी आप जैसे गाइड के पास आते हैं तो गाइड बोलता है कि भाई ये पेपर पढ़ लीजिए, वो पेपर पढ़ के लाइए, तो उसका मेन रीजन यही होता है कि आपका टाइटल फिक्स हो सके। सो काइंडली get valuable knowledge from the Puri sir. Puri sir, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. See here, as I already said that the majority will read the only title. There are some portion of the people, they will read only abstract. There are very small people, they will read the tables and figures, and there are very small peoples or tiny portion, they will read the whole paper. Now the title, if we see the regarding the title here, title कैसा होना चाहिए? एक, it should not be too big. Do not be too technical. Avoid jargon and abbreviations. कोई शब्द जंजाल नहीं चाहिए कोई. It should be sophisticated. It should be a simple. But suppose layman will read that title, it should be understood that what that candidate want to speak, want to tell in that technical paper here. But if we use the some that high level words, jargon, abbreviations, it will not work here. Suppose for example, if we are writing the particular paper on the networking protocols, DHCP, then you avoid that abbreviations, DHCP and all these things. Whatever the things you avoid that abbreviations in title itself. Better way you write the different things or different words instead of that title abbreviations here. But avoid this abbreviations and jargon in that in that title here. Start with the provisional title, but review it when the paper is written. Just you take in your mind that yes, this will be the title here. But once you have worked on that paper for 3 months, 4 months, then during that thought process, your title will be sharp one. And definitely it will change, and it should change. It is not possible that at first you will fix the title and after that you will write a paper. No, in your mind, there will be something regarding the title here, but after writing a paper, your title must be changed. It will change. Now, authorship. Suppose there is generally we have seen, suppose there are more than 2 authors or more than 1 author, suppose. Then there is a problem that which one be first, which one be second, which one be third. But now see here, all authors are having the same impact, same importance. Order doesn't matter. There is not any particular importance to that order here. So the first, second, third, but it is having the same importance here. Do not worry too much about the order apart from these 3 positions here. Okay. Second thing, suppose if we are if you are referring a paper, generally what happens 90%. And you have selected one particular base paper. You have selected one base paper here, and it might be possible that whatever the statistics or whatever the hypothesis or whatever the results published in that base paper, these are not correct. But you are following it. So generally, what is the practice here? You have to implement that existing scenario so that you will get idea whether we are on the correct path here. Otherwise, what will happen here? Just we will be the passenger of the errors. So that's what you have to do here. Publish errors are permanent. Do not follow it. So that's why what we generally, what is the practice? You implement the existing system, and after that you have to do the modification. So this is general practice here. Now tables. Now see here. In our paper, text is there, tables are there, and figures are there. So the titles of the table, it should be appropriate, adequate. Then labels should be very clearly, and we should avoid the abbreviations where the possibles in the table here. And caption should be above the table. Generally, it is a confusion in that table here. Where should be the caption here? But for the table, the caption should be above the table, not below the table. You see the good papers. You see the suppose IEEE papers or elsewhere papers or very good publishers here. You see here that caption of the table, it will be the above. Then figures. You know that what is the importance of the figure here. So the figure is worth 1,000 words. It is a definition of that. It will tell the importance of the figure here. So it will keep legends separate from the figure. Label all access and give units to the figure or legends here. Then legends should be below the figure. Legends should be the below the figure. Table का क्या किया था हमने? Above figure. Legends का मतलब क्या है कि the text which is describing that figure. Legends का मतलब क्या है? LEGENC. The text which is describing that particular figure and should be below the figure here. Now result. Now when we are going to write the result here, the results what you have found. एक तो बात ये है कि suppose what should be our result, because we are finding so many things when we are doing experimentation na, it is not necessary that you will get only that thing for which you are seeking here. Apart from that, you will get a lot of things here. So when we see the result here, first you have to think here what you have found. Then description of the result should be followed directly from the tables and figures. Now you are writing the result, but on which basis? Because you are having the tables which are telling the statistics, you are having the figures which are telling the methodology or the data flow here. Let's start off with the most simple analysis, as well as develop and describe more sophisticated analysis as appropriate, and comment on all the data shown in each table, even if is very briefly. Now, when we are writing, now generally what we are thinking here, suppose for example, in existing paper, the particular algorithm or particular technique, suppose it is giving the efficiency or the we can say that it is giving the performance of 80% generally. Then what we are thinking as a research scholar or the MTech student here, our performance should be increased. Barabar hai na? Generally we are doing the research for that. But suppose for that purpose, with the discussion of the guide, we will find the particular technique, we will define the particular algorithm, we will choose the particular infrastructure, and we will do the experimentation here. And when we are doing the experimentation, we came to know that we are having result less than existing. ऐसा होता है कि नहीं? Dear students, ऐसा होगा कि नहीं होगा?
Yes, sir.
ऐसा होगा, बराबर है ना?
Yes, sir.
We can get a results which is less than existing here. Now nothing to bother. This is also research. This is also finding. This is also result, which is telling that if we are following this way, we will not get appropriate result. It is not necessary that your result should be always positive. It is not necessary to say do not follow this path because this path is not correct. ये कहना भी एक research है. So that remaining people, हमारे जो बाद में जो junior आने वाले या फिर जो follow करने वाले हैं, they will not choose that path, or they will find what is the problem in that path here. So do not be panic if your results are having very lower than existing here. So keep in mind. So result कम भी आए तो घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है. It is also one research. So table gives the actual experimental results here. Graphs are often used for the comparison. Generally, it is suggested that you should write a graph. You should draw the graph here, because just by seeing the graph, by observing the graph, that particular observer can see or can read meaning between the line here. You should not write each and everything in the paper here, because what is our problem? The size of the paper. There is a restriction on the number of pages on the paper here. So that's why instead of writing too much text, you write or you draw the figure, you draw the graph, you draw the very good presentation here. Now discussion. ये बात सबसे important है. Result and discussion. ये सबसे हमारा कम रहता है point. लेकिन what initially I have said here, 4 to 6 pages should be given to the result and discussion here. इसमें क्या होना चाहिए? Focus on your own result. आपके own result क्या है? Then after that, discuss what is the limitations, why the results are very less here. Put your findings in the context of other studies in tabular or the figure form here, and draw the overall conclusion from your and other studies here. मैंने जैसे कहा कंक्लूजन ये भी हो सकता है, we should not follow this path, ये भी मेरा कंक्लूजन है, या फिर you should go for this path, ये भी मेरा कंक्लूजन हो सकता है. And in discussion there should not be any statistic value, information here. Whatever the statistics you are given in the result, no problem. Result में आपने बता दिया कि we are having the 80% performance, 70% accuracy, precision, recall, statistic information सब दे दी. Now अब statistic information नहीं मांग रहे discussion में. What they are saying that what is your opinion, what is your thinking regarding that results here, whether it is correct or not. Check for the following here. क्या discussion में क्या follow करना है? एक, how do the results relate to the original question or objective outlined in the introduction section? Because we have started the writing paper putting in particular hypothesis in our mind, particular line, research line, then do the data support for your hypothesis. Whatever the results you are getting, whether it is supporting, या फिर whether the results are consistent with what other investigators have reported. If we are having the same infrastructure, same data set, same method, and still your results are different, having the different measures here, then you have to think here. Then discuss weaknesses and discrepancies. If your results were unexpected, try to explain why. Then is there another way to interpret your results? This is when अभी कहा. And what further research would be the necessary to answer the questions raised by your results here. Now see, while writing a paper, be serious, because now there are a lot of people will follow your paper. Lot of researchers, they will follow the paper here. Suppose if your paper is published in a very good forum, and if any layman or any new researchers will use that paper here, then he or she should get a very good idea, very clear idea, what is stated, what is said, and what I have to do. How you explain what is new without executing. So these things you have to keep in mind while writing the discussion here. Methods kya hai? First, what is your solution here, and include the detailed information so that the knowledgeable reader can reproduce the experiment here. Generally hota kya hai, when you use the base paper here and when we try to implement the existing system here, then you will came across that, or you will understood that there are a lot of things not provided, so that we cannot reproduce that system, we cannot re-implement that existing system here. So generally it is ethics of publisher or ethics of a writer of the paper that you have to give each and everything, so that the research scholar or the new research scholar, it will reproduce that system, it will re-implement that system here. अब कितना होना चाहिए? जैसे कि इंट्रोडक्शन लिखना है, सपोज इफ यू हैव टू राइट द इंट्रोडक्शन, देन वन पैराग्राफ बैकग्राउंड एंड हिस्ट्री लिखो. देयर शुड बी ओनली 4 पैराग्राफ्स इन इंट्रोडक्शन. एक बैकग्राउंड हिस्ट्री, सेकंड पैराग्राफ मोटिवेशन, थर्ड पैराग्राफ योर कंट्रीब्यूशंस, and fourth paragraph organization of the paper. That's it. Only the 4 paragraphs in the introduction here. You should not write 3 or 4 pages on the introduction here. No, only 4 paragraphs. Then we should ask some questions in the introduction to ourselves, and you have to give the answer in the introduction. क्या है? What is the problem? हमने पूछना चाहिए कि what is the problem. Second, are there any existing solution? Generally, when we are going to research, only there are 3 things you have to keep in mind. First, whether there is existing system. Yes. Then what are the drawbacks? Second question. Then what can we do or overcome that drawbacks? Third question. बस इसी में research है. Our whole research will come, or it will complete within this 3 questions. एक, whether the existing system is there. Yes. Then what is the drawback? Second question, how can we overcome? Third question. इस तीनों का जवाब दे दो, आपका रिपोर्ट भी इसी में है, आपका पेपर भी इसी में. They never use the more words than necessary. जैसे कि मैंने कहा, it should be precise. मैम मेरे पास कितना टाइम है?
Sir, till 3 p.m. We have to give the meeting ID to somebody else.
ठीक है, sorry ma'am. I will share that presentation to our students. No problem, no issue.
Sure, sure, sir.
Generally, now what I want to tell that our students is that this conclusion you have to write it should be very specific here. Abstract should be motivation, problem statement, approach, result, and conclusion. In abstract, each and everything should be included here. A good abstract, it is very precise and honest, can stand alone, uses no technical jargon, in brief and specific. But generally now, why to publish? Publish क्यों करना है हमारा paper? Dear students, keep in mind, if you are implemented or if you are discovered so nice things, but suppose if it is not published, then the meaning of that is you have not done. See here, see the cruelty of that sentence this. So you are having everything, but if you have not published, then इसका मतलब ये है कि आपने कभी किया ही नहीं. Now see this line by the Miller, 1993, what he is saying. If it wasn't published, it wasn't done. So that's why it is very important to publish a paper. What is publishable? You can read this. Plagiarism. This is a very important point here. Suppose if generally what is a general practice by the layman students, we are picking the particular portion of existing papers and we are pasting in our paper and we are saying that this is our paper. But actually this is a plagiarism and it is against the ethics also. And again some author is suppose claiming that it is my work, it is stolen by this particular publisher or that research scholar here. It may be possible that you have to face the legal actions also. Okay. Plagiarism or self plagiarism. Suppose I have written one paper. Now I have started the second paper for publications here, and if I am copying the material from the previous paper, it's my own paper here, but still it is not allowed because it is still self plagiarism. So there are some legal actions it can be invoked. So we have to follow some ethics. We should not copy and paste here. You have to give the credit to original author here. Then there are a lot of ways to giving the credit to the author here. Now see, general practice, general mistakes what we are doing here. Suppose for example general mistake क्या करते हैं हम? Suppose ये sentence है, original author ने लिखा है, क्या है? Joe Blow was a happy man who often walked down the road whistling and singing. This is the original sentence or original quote written by the original author here. Suppose हमने copy किया उसको और ये ऐसा लिख रहे हैं हम कि जो suppose quote is there, Joe Blow was happy man or whatever the thing he has mentioned, we have put it in the double quote here, as well as we are giving the name of that author. Now this is a correct way of using or it is not, we cannot say that it is a plagiarism here. We have used the quotation which is done by that scrivener, but we have given credit also. So that's why it's good, no problem, because full quote is in a quotation mark followed by the citation by Joe Blow and his life and times. So that's why we have given the appropriate quotation here as well as appropriate credit. So that's why it's good, no problem. Nobody can say that this is plagiarism. Now second thing, suppose for example the same sentence is there and we are writing the sentence like that here, according to scrivener this is, and we are writing this reference number. Again it's good because we are giving the credit here. But what is bad here? Now see here, we are using as it is that sentence, then it's not good. This is bad. No, it's not good here. It is a plagiarism. ये चोरी हुई है, ठीक है? Because we are not giving the credit. Now see here, suppose the same sentence is there. Joe Blow was a happy man who often walked down the road whistling and singing. Suppose अगर हमने ऐसा कहा कि Joe Blow was a happy man who often walked down the road whistling and singing, but we are giving the quotation here. But it is not also good here because we are not, these are the exact words of that original authors and we are using these words and you are saying that this is our word. We are writing like that here and we are giving these citations, but again we are showing to the word, yes, I am giving the credit, but actually you are not giving the credit. So it will also not work here. So these are the ways to how can we do the plagiarism, how can we avoid the plagiarism here. The common mistakes हम क्या करते हैं जनरली कि hyphenated words. Now see, बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि we are having the 2 columns papers here, so at that time we have to do the hyphens. So hyphen words एक क्या किसको दे सकते हैं? Only if the first word is a noun, then and then you can do the hyphen here. Otherwise, you cannot hyphenate the word here. Suppose if the first word is used an adjective, no hyphen is necessary. That is first generation. The first generation में कभी hyphen होगा ही नहीं. So like that. Then suppose if we have to mention 1 to 10 number digit, generally हम क्या करते हैं? Suppose 8. So हम लिखते हैं 8. ऐसा नहीं लिखना चाहिए. We should write it in a text here. 6, 7, 9, 10, and suppose more than 10. You have to write the digit here. Then while writing a plural, now see the last point here, it is very important here. Suppose for example, if you have to specify 1 meter, so 1 meter we can write here, but suppose 0.5 is less than 1. So generally what we write here 0.5 meter, but it should be 0.5 meters. These are the common mistakes we are doing here. Then we have to use the appropriate that articles A and D, we know it. Then see the phrase a lot of is used for 1 minute. Now see here, say greatly improves rather than highly improves. हम क्या करते हैं? This system is highly improves the results here, or largely improves the results here. Instead of that, what we will do here, we can write here greatly improves here. तो say contrary to rather than in contrary to. इनकी जरूरत ही नहीं है. In contrast to or as opposed to. So the words work and research are already in plural form. So thus we do not say like that existing works, existing researches. No, you should not like that here. Then do not use the abbreviations that don't, isn't, aren't. ठीक है? या फिर superlative degrees here. Best. Suppose this is the best. You should not write this is the very best. Already you have said ना best. पीने का स्वच्छ पानी, ये जरूरत नहीं ना, पीने का पानी और स्वच्छ बताने की जरूरत नहीं. इट शुड बी स्वच्छ, इट शुड बी वेरी प्योर. हम ऐसे नहीं बताते ना पीने का स्वच्छ पानी. अरे पीने का पानी है, स्वच्छ ही होना चाहिए वो, बराबर है ना. सो बेस्ट लिख रहे तो वेरी बेस्ट लिखने का क्या प्रयोजन है तुम्हारा? यहाँ जनरली हम एक्साइटेड में ऐसे ही शब्द यूज करते हैं, बट इट्स नॉट गुड. Then the word figure, table, theorem, and lemma, these are the proper nouns. So in the proper noun, the first word or the first alphabet should be the capital. Okay, so we should keep in mind here. Avoid repeated uses. Suppose now see the sentence here. If the storage required in the first case is greater than that in the second case, this is the correct sentence. अगर हम repetition use करें तो क्या होगा sentence इसका? The storage required in the first case is greater than the storage required in the second case. अब storage required double आया ये, we can avoid it, no problem. Then English and American spelling is sometimes different. Color versus color. आप American use करो या फिर English use करो, but throughout it should be consistent. Now this is from my side here. I know this is very hurry, and there was a technical problem from my side also. So if the student wants to do some questions, then I'm ready, no problem. Dear students.
Sir, please give some guidance regarding the result paper publications, like what we need to be considered while we are publishing a result paper.
Result paper ना, last paper. हाँ मैम, एक तो बात important ये है कि first whatever the techniques, whatever the algorithms or whatever the assumptions you are done here, first it should be tested okay. ऐसा नहीं कि हम डायरेक्टली रिजल्ट पेपर पब्लिश कर रहे हैं. Before that, one conference paper should be present. What I think, what our guides, or what our PhD guides suggest. Okay. So that what will happen here, only guide and only candidate saying you are good and yes, it's correct, it will not work. Let the word will say, barabar is jug ko kehne do ki yes, you are on the correct path here. So first we should do the conference paper here, and after that whatever the result paper is there, so whatever the existing results you are having, जैसे कि मैंने पहले भी कहा कि you have to try, your result should be the better. But suppose if it is, suppose 99% your result should be the better here, because you have to follow the advanced path here. But suppose anyway, suppose if you could not find that good results here, then still without bothering or without any problem here, you have to state, yes, this is a correct, this is not a correct way here. And while writing a paper, just see the plan here, man. Suppose if you have to publish a paper now, then you have to start from the before 6 months. Now see here, submission deadline is suppose for example N. Then upload the paper before 1 month. Final revision of your paper before 2 months. Take a pause for 2 months. Pause क्यों लिया हमने ये? Because आपने जो paper write किया 5 महीने पहले, उसके ऊपर thought process दो. And just you have to write and revise paper before 6 months. Means suppose if you are submitting the paper for any journal here, the process should start before 6 months. And in that 6 months, third and fourth, this months will be for the thought process. This is my suggestion.
Sir, we got 30 minutes more. I have requested from the officials to kindly give us some more time.
Yes, ma'am. No problem. I want to ask to the students, because this should not be a one-way discussion here. If the students want to discuss things, then it will be very good for me or the interactive session.
I think every student is now in the stage of publishing a review paper, because 4 semester students are there. Student, kindly ask your queries. Chandni, Kritika, Karuna, Khushbu.
Generally, ma'am, what happens? While writing a paper, there are some general mistakes students are doing. And so that's why there is a particular, we can say that acceptance ratio is very less for the good journals. If you see the good journal, the acceptance rate is 20%, 25%. इसका मतलब ये है कि 70%, 75% papers are rejected. Dear students, are you having any questions?
सर अपना खुद के रिजल्ट के रिसर्च वगैरह एनालिसिस किस तरह से किया जाना चाहिए, थोड़ा सा उस बारे में
आवाज नहीं आ रहा आपका क्लियर, आवाज नहीं आ रहा है क्लियर मुझे.
सर जो भी हम जैसे रिसर्च कर रहे हैं उसके रिगार्डिंग जो एनालिसिस करना है हमें कि किस तरह से मतलब हम और बेहतर तरीके से उसको रिसर्च करके उसके अंदर जो है उसका एनालिसिस डिस्क्राइब कर सकते हैं, वो किस तरह से करना चाहिए.
Sir, now see here, you are MTech, you are ME student, na?
Yes, sir, I'm Tech student.
Now see here, we have to do the analysis. बराबर है ना? But before that, whatever the domain you have chosen, first you have to think that, or just you have to find that in that first stage here, we can say that literature review. So what is already work we have done on that area? Because we have to decide that on which topic or on which area we have to focus here. Because when we are doing the PG as well as the PhD, your research will be narrow. We cannot concentrate on the general areas. You have to find, or you have to take the particular area and you have to concentrate on that a narrow part or the minor part on that here, and you have to elaborate that minor part here. Now see here, now बात आती है analysis की, analysis कैसे करना है. Now when we are having the particular a narrow path or the particular term on which we have to do the research here, suppose if we are having the more papers we are on that area, then we have to see the results, general results of that here. Without doing a research or without doing the experimentation, now we are having a ready-made base papers, but that paper should be of the obviously it should be from the good authors here. So first you see the results, observe the results, and you find the common things in that results here. जैसे वो बात कहते हैं ना कि रीडिंग बिटवीन द लाइन, बराबर है ना. So through that results, first you have to take the idea. First you have to analyze that results. You have to do the analysis. और उस analysis के तौर पर, और by just observing that results here, by doing the analysis here, you will came to know that on which area you have to focus here. If you are not doing the proper analysis now, it may be possible that we will go on in the wrong directions here. Now, suppose analysis करना है, suppose या फिर we have to find the particular way here. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है हमारे स्टूडेंट के साथ भी या फिर किसी के साथ, बहुत सारे हमने ऐसे देखे स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ कि they have chosen the particular paper as a base paper, बराबर है. Now it is done. Now it's time to implement that existing papers, बराबर है ना. And many times we are not getting that data sets, original data sets. And generally what then, if the data set is not permanent or data set is not that correct here, now whatever the results and whatever the analysis we are doing, it is not correct, no? Yes or no? Suppose we are not getting the same data set here, then whatever the assumptions we are doing, whatever the analysis you are doing, it is not correct. So for that purpose, we should have a good base papers. We should have a good results in that here, and we should decode that results very easily or very correctly here. Then we can do the analysis.
Sir, I would like to, hello. I would like to extend the answer of Puri sir. So, dear student, regarding analysis, while you are going to make analysis of your different papers, first of all, you need to set some kind of criteria that which kind of analysis you want to do. So, while reading the paper, first of all, you see that what kind of results they have entered in their paper, and try to read the conclusion. By reading the results and conclusion, you will get certain parameters. For example, just Puri sir said that database. Which kind of database is used by that particular researcher? Either it is a standard database or it is a articulated database. So it is one parameter for making analysis. Another parameter is what is the size of sampling. That means this can be another parameter, sampling. Okay, then you can see that different result parameters like accuracy, then error rate, like PSNR ratio, or sensitivity, like precision or recall. So these are the different parameters you may get in different papers. So try to collect these values from the different papers, those you are referring. Okay, once you get all those data, then you will get the clear idea that what are the different limitations and what are the different problems within that particular paper. Okay, then try to gauge the technique or try to find out the techniques they applied, or techniques these are generally present in different parts of the process. Like in feature extraction, they one paper may have used the different technique. In the same paper, they may have applied the different technique for classification. So classification technique may be different in the same paper, and in the same paper, that particular feature extraction technique may be different. So try to identify such parameters. By that way, you can get a clear comparison in between the different papers. By that way, you can compare all those papers and make your own assumptions or make your own comments on that paper. What are the limitations? What can be the better? Which means in this way you can put the different discussions based on that comparison. So in that way you can do the analysis of your different papers which you have collected. Got it?
यस सर. सर एक चीज़ और ये है कि हमारा रिसर्च जैसे हम चाहते हैं एनालिसिस करने के लिए किसी को शेयर करना है वगैरह, तो उसमें कहीं ना कहीं एक चीज़ ये रहती है कि अरे कहीं वो चीज़ वो आइडिया चोरी ना हो जाए, या वो चीज़ हम अभी उस पर काम ही कर रहे हैं, तो काफ़ी दिक्कत आती है कि आपको खुद उस चीज़ के बारे में ज़्यादा पता नहीं है और आप चाहते हैं किसी के सामने रख के उसको बेटर एनालिसिस करना होगा, तो उसको कहीं ना कहीं एक डर होता है कि भाई हमारा पूरा किया वो पूरी मेहनत है और हम किसी से शेयर करेंगे तो उसकी स्टोरी हो जाएगी, तो उसको कैसे मतलब
बराबर है. Right.
कैसे
So
वो कर
never
सकते हैं?
do such kind. So this practice is completely is not recommended. What you should do while making the analysis, you discuss the things with your professors, or by reading it from yourself, and you can get the results only if you will understand all those things. Okay, so don't discuss all those things with others. And again, others can use that things. This is the different part, but believe in yourself. Try to understand in your own way. Is more important. Okay, so before discussing with it before discussing the things with others, try to cope up with all the things which are having in your mind. Okay. And
I want yes,
yes.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And one more thing that I want to add: if you are having some kind of some kind of doubt, then what you can do, you can go for making copyright, or you can go for filing patent. By that way, you will secure your ideas and concepts, novel concepts. Got it? Yes, Puri sir.
I think Bashir is there. This question is asked by Bashir.
Yes, sir.
Generally, what happens, Bashir? Suppose if we are writing very good, just like I am giving this answer in perspective of the paper, journal paper. Okay. Suppose you are having good idea, or you have written very good paper, and you are trying to publish it, and suppose you have sent to the particular journal which is not reputed. Okay. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Suppose if we are sending this your valuable work to the journal which is not up to the mark, okay, then it may be possible that your paper will not publish there, but the same paper will be published by another else putting their own names. It happens. It happens. At that time, what you have to do here? So there is my sincere request to all the students here: do not send a paper to ordinary publishers. Your paper should be in very good forum. It may be UGC Care, it may be Springer, Scopus Index. So you have to send out your paper at very good forum here. Do not waste your paper. Generally, it happens. Next.
Sir, one question is asked by Chandni that how I want to know the general idea of how would I represent my result in the paper. Means what kind of representation we should use to show the results in the paper. This is asked by Chandni.
Sanjay sir?
Yes. So the result means description of the result is completely depends on which kind of work you have done. Means if your work if you have done the work on the review paper or literature survey, in that case your result may be the comparative table, and along with that based on that comparative table you need to provide the discussion based on that comparative different parameters. Okay. Second thing, if your paper is result experimental or based on empirical data, in that case what you need to do, you need to identify the results in the form of tables which incorporates different parameters. Just earlier just I said that, like accuracy or PSNR ratio or error rate or anything it can be. Okay, so what you can do, you can prepare some kind of table of result. Then you should give the proper graph or graphical representation should be there along with that table. Okay, and you should explain that table and the graph by considering each and every aspect which are present inside the tables in the form of either rows or in the form of columns. Either uh, uh, you can uh, you can describe the column wise or you can describe row wise. In that way, you can prepare your result. Satisfied?
Yes, sir, satisfied. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, if it is possible to show some sample of review papers, then it would be great, because these are the 4th semester students who are just searching a research topic, and I think not yet published the review paper. Many students are there.
Sir, I think tomorrow is session by Mr. Gurda,
Yes.
sir, na?
Yes, I will discuss this thing in tomorrow, because I do have that review papers like that.
Okay.
So I'll share these information tomorrow.
So if anybody having any questions, please ask. Otherwise, Puri sir, you can conclude.
Yes, ma'am. Because I was more slides, but you are given that up to 3 we have to complete, so that's why I completed all the slides within a time here, no problem. And thanks to you that you have extended the time so that we can cope up. We could cope up all this question and answering sessions here. I would like to thanks by your college group, your management, as well as Sneha ma'am, that you have given the dais to present my ideas regarding these paper presentations. And I would like to thanks dear students. They have listened very patiently, though there is a technical problems with at my side here. And once again, I thanks to all dignitaries, management members of that college, as well as Sneha ma'am and all dear students. And I will conclude this today's sessions. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So my dear student, I'm now ending this meeting, and questions are most welcome. We can discuss it tomorrow also. So find some questions, and I will share the PPT at the end of the 3-day session. Thank you so much. I'm ending this meeting. Thank you.